Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
Back again.
Again and again.
And we're not going to sing Back in Black, though.
No, not today. Maybe
Not today.
tomorrow.
That'll be tomorrow's mantra.
Yes, Back in Black.
And we're jesting.
Yes,
A little
we
bit.
are. A little.
Anyway, we do want to thank our patrons before we get rolling, and awesome medicinal foods. There's a link at the top of every video. Use coupon code EEA and get 5% off your order, and it does support the channel. So I thought we should talk about this. We have some severe fires going on right now over in Colorado. 100-mile-an-hour winds whipping these fires. And, you know, the weather is going to be changing rather abruptly for many people in this country. It really feels like we might have some severe weather coming in when that shift comes. I mean, I know right here we've been like 80 pretty much as far as your high temp, and then we're going to be like 27 overnight or 26 overnight. That's going to be by far the coldest weather we've seen. Mm-hmm. When you get those type of swings, you could have some severe weather. And of course, we got the drought still ongoing in the west. You actually have 2 complete towns that have been evacuated.
You know, this really bothers me because not only do we, of course, worry about the people, but what about all the 4-legged friends? What about all of our animals, cows, horses, goats, sheep? They don't always have the ability to get out of there like that. So let's send our energy toward them.
Absolutely. That's one of the things that we don't always think of.
Right.
The animals, you know, and it's horrible, but you have about 600 homes destroyed, more than 25,000 evacuated, 26,000 without power, and state of emergency in effect. 2 grass fires sparked in Colorado Thursday morning. Strong winds caused power lines to fall, transformers to explode. 6 people have been taken to the hospital in Broomfield with burns, hospital spokesperson confirmed. Colorado officials on Thursday night say they were unaware of any fatalities, but that could change. Again, almost 600 houses destroyed. Boulder County Sheriff said dramatic footage showed an apartment block going up in flames. So we have the Marshall Fire. It's about 1,600 acres going on over there. You know, the West is just a tinder block. It's just ready to go, and you know we do need snowpack. We need to see, you know, the usual cycle of things, which you know we have anything but the usual going on now. As you look at these neighborhoods in flames, very, very scary situation. As you can see, smoke from the wildfires north of Denver as the wind is whipping it up. That's ominous.
That really is disturbing.
Yeah, after we had left Nevada and we were mostly in New Mexico, and then family members were talking to us about, you know, what was going on in Nevada. I tell you, when we went and visited them, it was scary, and you could see this from space up here. You could see all the smoke just coming off.
Yeah, I mean, that's just something else that they can pick it up from space.
Most definitely, most definitely. But, you know, it's getting to be an all too common sight. And of course, you know, especially when we see these, you know, as we saw in California, houses burnt down, but trees having leaves on them, that was really strange. But, you know, there's a lot of strange things going on. As you can see, these pretty packed developments and the smoke rolling in.
Wow.
Yeah, the wildfires are a scary situation.
Yes, please send your blessings to these families and animals and anything out there that needs any kind of help or assistance. Just send our love and energy that way.
You know, I wanted to bring this up again because there's 2 more quakes that came. And this is in the little town of Elgin, South Carolina, which I know extremely well. Extremely well. And, you know, you can see this is Fort Jackson. So Elgin's a tiny little town, suburb of Columbia, South Carolina. And Fort Jackson's the Well, that is a big military base. Actually, more people go to basic training there than I think anywhere else in the country, if I remember right. And, Cindy was getting, when I asked about this, what's up with these quakes?
Mm-hmm.
You can see all these quakes, it's relatively small, 2.5, 2.4, 2.3, 2.5, 3.3. It's just odd to see them, and they're basically in kind of a line. And her impression was of grays, gray aliens, the little grays.
Yeah, and I didn't want to think that because I think the area is very beautiful but when you get information, you get what you get. And I didn't even know that there was that big military base over there, but that's definitely what came through.
And we see the depth 3.2 kilometers, 2.4, 0.7, 4.9, 1.6. Basically mostly between 1 and 2 miles deep is what they're saying. Again, probably blasting going on. That's definitely what you're getting from the guides.
Yes, blasting things going on. And, the little grays, that really bothered me. So I don't know if they're making extensions, if they're making new, if they're upgrading. I don't know. I just know that they're there.
Yep. Fears of avian flu strain jumping to humans amid massive outbreak. And this is over in Israel. And we were talking about the culling that was going on. Just what is really needed in these times with all the food supply shortages that are being admitted now by Chinese and Indian authorities saying, yeah, we got tough times ahead. It's getting tougher to feed our people.
Mm-hmm.
And, you have this going on as well. And we did get from the guides that, this is something to keep an eye on.
Yes, definitely. It seems like there's some seeds being sown here, so we're going to pay attention to this.
They say the widespread nature of the avian flu is very concerning, especially given that it's infecting chickens and not just wild birds. So, this could move from wildlife to stock animals, and then again, possibly to humans. And even if it didn't, it's still going to be a lot less, a lot more empty shelves in the grocery store. And, there's some shelves that are not getting replenished.
Yeah, definitely.
We could see that people are still seeing it, and share what you guys are seeing in your grocery store with each other. It does seem that certain areas do a lot better than others.
Sure does.
And here we see, this is from Radio India, China replacing soldiers with robots. Killbots filled with machine guns, ammo transports have been moved to Tibet. As you can see, this is, again, I've seen the same thing coming out of DARPA. So whatever we are bringing attention to that's happening over at the Fine Dining Work, country, it's been happening over here too. And it's global. And as we have said, they know people are going to wake up. They know people are going to sometimes say, well, just like they've been leaving their jobs in droves, at some point you're going to have a lot of soldiers leaving. And we also have had a ton of soldiers being kicked out because of, not going along on those dates for men.
Yeah, exactly. So there's some kind of a vacuum that's going to need to be filled.
And we were talking about how the average soldier is not really going to get a pay increase when you factor in, the cost of living and how much money can be made with contractors. We know contractors. We have basically shot some pool with them at certain times, because where we were in Nevada, there was tons of contractors always coming and going, to the bases over there. And they make so much more money as contractors than they do when they're in the service. I mean, it's night and day. It's totally night and day. And here you see, now this is the Blackwater founder that's saying Russia and China are beating the U.S. in gray zone warfare. And, this is just going into, again, this is another person's perspective. And these people are wielding more and more power in this world, the contractors. Corporations having their own private little armies at their beck and call, so to speak. And, he's also just talking about how Russia and China are kind of leaving the U.S. In the rearview mirror in many different ways. And, Again, this is the founder of Blackwater. Boy, there's been a lot of movies that have talked about companies like Blackwater, haven't there?
There has been a ton. Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's like there's so much darkness in the higher echelons of the power structure on this planet that needs to be brought to light. And here you see a new report. CIA experimented on hundreds of orphaned Danish children. Going back to 1962, there was a secret research project started, supported by the CIA, in the basement of a hospital. 311 Danish children, many of whom were placed in orphanages, were used in a number of research experiments. Yeah, clear violation of, that famous word that's coming up in so many people's minds, Nuremberg.
Yeah.
Again, what do you do when it's the peak of the pyramid? That's the problem in the first place.
Right.
What do you do? Well, you look to NP.
She knows everything.
Oh, well, one thing she does know is she knows what stocks to buy when. She knows. Believe me, she knows. Isn't there supposed to be something about that insider,
no,
thing?
She would never do that. I'm sure she's just, all of this is just pure good guessing, of course.
The guides had talked about a lot of people reincarnating that were alive at the time of Atlantis, when Atlantis, met its fate. Just as, this regime upon the planet will be meeting its fate too. And the guides were saying that she's one of the ones that was creating a lot of problems back in the Atlantean days.
She does. It's like they keep taking the same story, sorry, and the template, and they play it over and over and over.
Yep. So, Nancy Pelosi buys millions in call options in Google, Micron, Roblox, Salesforce, and Disney. And again, despite a populist grassroots movement seeking to ban Congress members from trading stocks, and again, term limits, these people just, it's like it's their birthright.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's one of the most prolific congressional traders. And of course, she thinks that lawmakers should allow to be making trades while serving. We're in a free market economy. If they have a little insider, who's doing what? Hold on. George, sell.
Mm-hmm.
Sell. But keep it quiet.
Right, definitely keep it quiet.
Yeah, it's just amazing, isn't it? But hey, people are waking up. You have Senator Richard Burr from North Carolina under investigation by Securities and Exchange Commission for trades he made in the early days of the plague upon the land. Again, do they know things ahead of the public? Yeah, don't you think? Could that possibly give them an advantage? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So where's the argument?
Well, they don't mind.
No. Again, do as we say, not as we do.
Yep.
So thank you guys again for your support. Ko-Fi and Patreon. Anybody that needs to set up an appointment, it's evolutionaryenergyarts@gmail.com or EEARTS@protonmail.com. As always, source bless. Much love. Namaste.
Namaste.